Hi everyone, it's Karen. Good morning, and I have a treat for us today. I'm going to talk about behind the scenes, the support necessary to create ease and joy in your coaching business. Yes, ease and joy. You know, I'm all about that. So behind the scenes of a successful coaching business, there are so many things happening that contribute to the results that you see on the outside. And today I want to talk about the support, the background support that's necessary to create a successful business. I do support coaches who want to grow their businesses with ease and joy. And my sweet spot, and actually, almost exclusively, my clients are those who come from the corporate world and are working in businesses or organizations. So if I want to ask you a few questions, I start out with a few questions here. If you could have the freedom to set your own schedule and work with clients that love and appreciate you and are happy to pay you while making an income where you don't have to give up the lifestyle that you've grown to love, would that be of interest to you? Because that's what's happening here. So if so, just type yes in the comments. And let me go a little deeper. If I show you a business model that would leverage your time and talents, would you like to know about that? And when you're ready to take actions, if I showed you the actions that would get you to your goals the fastest and the easiest without any detours or without a few detours, would that be helpful? So if you answered yes to any of these questions, you are in the right place. And before I go into my lesson here, I just want to share where I was before I came into coaching, and maybe you're somewhere like this too. I was in the estate planning field, and I was literally working 70 hours a week. I can't even believe it now when I think about it, but I was. And all I wanted to do was work less hours, which was not hard to do. I wanted to wake up without an alarm, and I wanted to wear comfy clothes. Those were my three things, and maintain the lifestyle that I was accustomed to. And I'm happy to tell you that I've done just that. I've gone from that place of exhausting 70 hours to a very reasonable, I don't know what I work this time, because I think it's 30, but it might be less, might be more, because it all seems so much easier and joyful. So I do a lot of training, and I'm going to give you some of my best stuff today. And that being said, every coach needs a coach. So if you'd like to explore working with me, just send me a direct message, and we can talk about what that might look like. I have a Coach's Quick Start program, 12-week program starting next month. So that might be something of interest to you if you were the right fit for that. So let's talk. All right, so here's the lesson. In order for you to be really successful in your coaching business, you're going to need background support. Whether it's technology or people, you really can't go it alone. And what happens when you don't have support? You're going to get tired. You're going to be doing everything yourself. Believe me, I know this. It happened to me. You're going to feel isolated and alone sitting in your office all day. You know, even though I love my clients, I also need some other type of interaction. And you're going to spend time doing work that drains you, and then you're too exhausted to do the work that counts. I have totally been there. But when you do have the background support and the right support, you're going to feel happy. You're going to get your rest, and you're going to do the work that only you can do, your genius work. And it's going to energize you, and you can spend more time working on your coaching and doing your own self-development. So, okay, what's the support you need? Let's talk about this. And of course, there are three things I'm going to talk about. So the first is technical support. There are so many great free resources out there that can help you do things in a short amount of time and really streamline what you're doing. When you don't know the right technology, you can end up spending enormous amounts of money on tech that you don't need. I've done this myself. I've been there, and I've seen many coaches. This can eat away at the profits of your business, and it causes a weight on your shoulders. You've got to make more money in order to pay for all this tech. When you do know the right tech to use, you can create a strong foundation in your business, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. So here are a few examples. Some of my favorites. If you want to do posting on social media and you want to schedule that out, say every Sunday night, you're sitting in front of the TV or something, you're putting your posts in. Instead of using something like Meet Edgar, and I can't remember what that is, it's under $100 a month, but you could also use Hootsuite, which is completely free. And then when you start generating more money, you can up-level. Instead of Infusionsoft for your autoresponders, you can start with MailChimp. Infusionsoft, I think, is like hundreds of dollars a month, and MailChimp is free. So you can send out your free report. You can start your mailing list with MailChimp, and then as you grow, you can import these into another autoresponder. Instead of a credit card processor, you can use PayPal subscription payments, so you don't have to send out invoices every month. I had a really tough experience with credit card processing. So in credit card processing, there's a processor, but there's also kind of this middle person, Authorize.net, and then there's you, the person. So for me, I had to pay for Authorize.net, I had to pay for my credit card processing, and I started growing my business fast. And so I started taking in larger amounts than I was used to taking. They actually held the money, made me refund it to my people out of my own pocket, and then we could do it again. It was a nightmare, and it was very expensive. And when you have 2 or 3 different places, like you have 2 places here, one says, well, go to the other one. Authorize.net says, go to, I can't remember the other place, and they say, well, it's their thing. So it gets very confusing and convoluted and complicated. PayPal so I was doing PayPal for a while, and I decided I was going to be more professional and upgrade. I went right back to PayPal. And PayPal has this thing with subscription payments that you can just send out a link in an email. Once somebody clicks that link, say they're going to pay $1,000 a month, every month that $1,000 comes out, and I don't have to send an invoice. They don't have to do a manual payment. So it makes everything so much easier. So these are the kind of things that are very important to know when you're starting out your business, or even as you grow your business, is what kind of tech support do you need? And is it going to be a return on investment for you? All right, let's look at the second kind of support that you would need, and that is virtual and web assistance. So of course, you're going to need help with your website unless you're really good at that or you like that. But when you hire assistants too soon and you're not exactly clear on what you need, you can really be wasting a lot of money on things that are not revenue producing. You may find yourself frustrated that you're paying so much for these services month after month after month. Believe me, I've been there, done that. I've wanted to invest in myself, and yet I really need to look at this. Am I getting the return on this investment? When you hire at the right time, it is going to be investment and not an expense. You're going to know what you need. You're going to be thrilled at how it's paying off. You're going to be so happy to write those checks every month. So what's the right time to hire help? It's after you've done some of these things yourself. Unless you have a huge capitalization into your business, do some of these yourself. See how long it takes you. And so I did this one time. I had hired an assistant to do some email marketing, and I prepared the emails. I sent them to her and asked her to queue them up, and it was taking her about 20 minutes to queue up these emails. And so I was paying by the hour, so she could queue up 3 emails, which was great. And I was thinking, boy, there might be an easier way. Well, I went right into my autoresponder and I created the email there, and it took me 10 minutes. Now, is it a good use of my time? Maybe or maybe not, depending. But it only took me 10 minutes to create the email, and I was paying somebody else for 20 minutes. So that was a disconnect, and I understood that I needed to find somebody who could do this as quickly as I could. So that's do some of this stuff yourself. You don't have to do everything, but find out what it is and what it takes. The other thing is, for the right time, is after your business is bringing in money. I started out doing a lot of things on my own. And then once I was bringing in the income, I was able to invest in other people doing these. And like I said, still today in this, I will create posts. I'll queue them up. I'll send them out just because it's easy for me. I'm creating them. I do have a great support with my internet, my website, and some of my marketing. So look at what kind of money is your business bringing in, and then reinvest some of that in the support. After you've coached a lot of paying clients and you know what they need, it makes a lot of sense to get the support. One of the things I see is coaches creating really beautiful websites, but their niche is not specific and clear. And so the websites are gorgeous, but no clients are coming. And they'll come to me and say, I have this great website, but I have no clients. And I've spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours on this. Yes, exactly, because you really want to get a very clear niche and put content on your website that is going to draw in your ideal clients. So work with a coach before you do your website, before you do any of this. Make sure that your niche is really strong. Here's my story. I wrote it down. When I first started, I would do like everything I love to do. And then I would also do some of the things that I didn't love because I had time and I was starting my business out. And then there came a week, I remember I was in a coaching session with my coach and I said, oh my gosh, I have so many things on my plate. I am really tired. And I don't know, I don't know what I need to take off. And she said, well, is it time to hire an assistant? And I said, well, maybe. So I knew someone that I had worked with in a different capacity. And I called her up and I said, would you like to do some work for me? And I had a certain amount that I could pay out of my business. I can't remember what it is, but I offered her that amount. She said yes, which I was kind of surprised about, but she said yes. And then she said, give me your to-do list. And I had 32 items on that to-do list, and they were weighing down on my shoulders. And within, I think, 48 hours, she had spent 8 hours, and she cleared off all 32 of those items. It was amazing. So this is when it's the right time and you get the right support, it can really be a big, big help. All right, so what is the third type of support that you need for your successful coaching business? A coach. Obviously, every coach needs a coach. You'll always hear me say this. And I'm not saying this because I'm a coach and I want to get hired. I really, truly believe this, and I've always lived by this idea. So when you don't have a coach, you're not doing what you're asking your clients to do. You're not investing in yourself. And you don't have access to your most creative answers because your coach will help you with that. And you're not humbling yourself every week to admit your fears and move past them. That's what I do every week with my coach. So when you do have a coach, you're going to find ways to make it an investment rather than an expense. Your potential clients are going to sense that alignment within you, and they're going to know and feel very confident in hiring you. It's kind of an energetic thing. If you're not investing in yourself and in a coach to the highest level that you can, and I'm not saying like get out of your comfort zone and invest all this money, because that's another challenge. You don't want to invest too much, but you want to invest just the right amount, a little bit more than what you're comfortable with, but not something you're extremely uncomfortable with, okay? So when you have that coaching session per week, it really helps you to do your best and to move forward in your business. And I've had at least one coaching session per week, and sometimes even more every week since I've been a coach, except for holidays and vacations, I will say. And I believe in coaching. And that's why it's easier for me to invite people into coaching, because I know the value from the other side. So if you want some stronger support, another support is coaching colleagues and peers. We'll be starting another Coaches Quick Start Intensive next month. I mentioned that earlier. And in addition to my coaching, which is a coach's support, you get the support of a group of colleagues. And we didn't even talk about peer support in this training here, but peer support is really important. You'll get the technical support of my amazing marketing, I can't remember what her title is, marketing and empowerment assistant, technical support specialist, Andrea, and the support of great strategies that I've learned over the years to help you quickly start to bring in clients. So behind the scenes of a successful coaching business, there really are so many things happening that contribute to the results that you see on the outside. This is the last in a 3-part series. So the first was mindset shifts that are behind the scenes. The second was what's being tracked behind the scenes that you don't see. And the third was what kind of background support that you really don't see from the outside looking in. These are some of the things that I share with my clients, and we shortcut, months and years off of getting their businesses going, and we shortcut all the details out of here. So I've given you some of my best stuff today, and I have more, but it comes out in coaching sessions. It comes out when my clients ask me questions. That being said, remember, every coach needs a coach. So if it's not me, that's fine. Find a coach that resonates with you. It's really important for us coaches to have our own coach as we're coaching others. So I want to say, if you want to explore working with me, if I resonate with you, send me a message through Messenger. And thanks for being here and being willing to share your time, your treasure, and your talents with the world as a coach. You help people grow to their highest potential, and that is such a sacred trust. And I really cherish my relationship with you as my colleagues in coaching. Your presence is really needed in the world. So thank you for that. All right, bye-bye for now.